The one thing I wish I knew sooner about the law of assumption. For years and years I tried to manifest my dreams, my desires, but I was struggling. I was able to manifest some small things, but the big stuff was still out of reach and I was freaking frustrated. So I researched so much about the law of attraction, the law of assumption. I went really deep and I tried to figure this stuff out. But one thing kept me stuck, and this one thing I'm going to talk about in this video because it's very likely that you have the same thing that's keeping you stuck, right? So make sure to watch the whole video till the end. I will reveal what this one thing is and how we can actually change it so that the law of assumption works in your favor and that everything that you desire will happen in record speed, because it's absolutely possible. Now I'm happy to announce that I manifested a lot of my dreams, like traveling the world, my dream girl, my dream physique, having my dream career as an artist, making over 6 figures and much more cool stuff. Just because I understood this one missing key. So what is it? First of all, before I go there, let me tell you a story. I came from a very difficult household. My mom had alcohol problems, my father wasn't often there. So I came from a home where I had a lot of trauma in the end. Life was hard for me. I had so much negative thoughts. I had such a big negative self-talk. It was really hard for me to make anything work. I tried affirmations, I tried vision board, I tried the dream book, but all these things just made me feel worse. And I never understood why. But at one point, things started to switch. And the switch basically happened when I really went deep into figuring out what emotions are in my body that are stuck. Not just trying to figure it out by thinking about it, but actually doing shadow work. Shadow work was the key for me. And let me explain what shadow work is. Shadow work basically means going into your past and, going deep, like facing it instead of suppressing it or rejecting it. Right? A lot of us do that. And yet I'm not saying you have to do that too, because I had a safe space to do all of these things. But when I did that, I was able to change my past. Because I went back into my past, I relived it and created a new meaning out of it. And that's really what helped me to manifest my dreams. Once I did that, I wasn't stuck in the same emotional patterns. I was free and I was clear. And that helped me to change everything in my life. That's really when the law of attraction and the law of assumption started happening. Because then when I read books or joined courses, I got new knowledge, I listened to certain people, I could take in the information and I could apply it, which I couldn't do before. There was this dark cloud, so I couldn't take in any new information. And I took it through my filter and interpreted these things completely wrong. So I was stuck for many years. And the moment it changed was the moment I took responsibility over my past, and not just responsibility, but I actually changed it in my mind. And shadow work is so powerful because you're not afraid of it anymore, right? Many people are afraid to go deep, to look at what happened, to look at the pain, to look at your past. I went in there, I relived it, and I gave it a different meaning. I transformed my past. And Neville Goddard actually talks about that you can change your past. Because your past and your future is happening in the now. It's happening in your mind. You're not living in the past anymore. It already happened. But for so many of us, we still relive the past in our daily life. Because we're afraid to face it. We still have resentment. We still didn't let go. We still didn't forgive yourself and other people, right? So that's why many people are stuck. And that's why it's almost like you're a sponge and you're full. Right? You're already full of all the thoughts around your past, around the things that you didn't digest and you didn't let go of these things. So it's like you could also say your glass is full. And then you try to put in more affirmations and vision board and dreams and goals and listen to Neville and listen to other people, Abraham Hicks, Joe Vitale, but it's just not working because your glass is already full. So I needed to empty my glass first before I was able to get in new information and start applying it. So how do you do shadow work? First of all, I would recommend you get a safe space. If you want me to help you with that, book a call, because I can give you the safe space and I can actually help you to guide you towards, to go into the past and then create a new meaning, because you don't want to get in your past and go deep and bring it all up and then stay there. It's really important that you transform the past. It's almost like you're an alchemist and then things start working for you. I promise you. That's exactly what I did. That's when I became free and fresh and clear. The law of assumption and the law of attraction cannot really work if you're full of all these negative thoughts and this negative self-talk, the past, the things that you haven't forgiven, the things you didn't let go. So again, you're full. Your glass is full. You have to first empty it. You can also do small things every day, like meditating, just emptying your mind. That will already help over time to empty that glass. But if you want to do a bigger session, like a 1 hour session where you really go deep, that can really make a switch in your mind. It's releasing the emotions, and many people already know. I watched, I think, What the Bleep Do We Know? I think they talked about, Joe Dispenza talked about that our emotions are actually stuck in our body, and that's how many people actually get sick, because certain emotions are stuck and people don't release them. People don't know how to release these emotions in a safe way, right? It can be anger, it can be sadness, it can be disappointment, it can be guilt, it can be so many things. And as long as you hold on to these things, you're not going to be able to manifest what you want. So I needed to first do the inner work. I needed to first do shadow work. First needed to change and transform my past before I could really create the future that I want. Once I did these things, then it started becoming easy. I was also more present in everyday life. One book that I recommend you is The Power of Now from Eckhart Tolle. You probably already know it. It helps you to really be in the now. Yet only doing this didn't help me to release the past. So I did both. I went into my past, I released it, and then I really practiced to be in the moment. Right? Because sometimes even if you let go of the past and you forgave someone and you let go, you still can unconsciously hold on to the past and keep bringing it up. There are people that keep bringing up the past. That's because they're living in the past. Then you need to train your attention. You need to train your focus to be in the now. You want to use your imagination to think about what you want, to visualize what you want in very clear detail. And you want to become very clear on what you want. And then you want to train yourself to put your attention on what you're doing into the now. That's very powerful. Because when I started doing this, I also realized that the universe is actually always guiding us, right? It's almost like you know what you want, you visualize it, but then you need to be guided. And if you're all the time in the past or keep being in the future, you're not really present. You're not aware of the signs and the subtle notches, the subtle signs from the universe to get you into the direction where you meet the right people, you get into the right situations, and one thing leads to the next, because that's exactly what happens, right? You don't know how your dreams come true. You don't know how your desire happens. You just know what you want, you're very clear, and you're living in the present, and then you will be guided one step at a time. And then you will get there. That's how I manifested all the things that I wanted in my life. And it's still what I need to do. Sometimes I might lose myself. I realize I'm too much in the past, what I'm doing then, since I already did the shadow work. And there's always more shadow work to do, by the way. But what helps me a lot is just write down all the things that I want. Just journaling on my thoughts, my feelings, and then on what I want. Because that really helps me to fill my mind with positive thoughts. If you meditate at the same time, it's even more powerful because you empty your mind. And then everything that you write down, all the things that you want, it's almost like they stick more in your mind, right? Because your glass is not full anymore. So this is one thing that I wish I knew about the law of assumption before I started with this journey. Because if I would have done the shadow work before, I would have been much further. So hope this video helps you guys, and talk soon.